good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Chaz Price. I'm a certified financial planner here. Special thank you and shout out to my friends and colleagues here, Nolan Baker, Scott Kirshner, for inviting me on their radio show. You can listen in every Saturday afternoon on WSPD Radio at 12:30. So I thought for this Trends at 10, I would just share a couple snippets of that interview and to see what you thought. Check out America's Retirement Radio and the interview on working with a financial advisor, and I'll be back with you guys in just a couple of minutes. Talk to you later.
Thanks for joining us here on America's Retirement Headquarters, home of the Retirement Guys Formula and America's Medicare Associates with Nolan Baker, Scott Kirshner, and Mr. Chaz Price. Here's how you reach out to the show, 419-794-3030. That's 419-794-3030, online at americasretirementheadquarters.com. My name is Chris Swan. On today's show, we're going to find out whether men or women are better at investing. We're going to talk about money decisions that we've come to regret, and who do you trust when you're looking for financial advice? But before we jump into any of that, got to check in. Scott, Chaz, glad to be with you as always. How you doing this weekend?
We're doing well. We're glad to be back on the radio today, and Chaz, once again, thank you for joining in.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Good to be back.
Sure. Let's go ahead and jump into the show. Who do you usually turn to when you have a money question? According to the annual Retirement Confidence Survey, the most popular source of financial advice is family and friends. But isn't that, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, isn't that kind of like asking your Aunt Edna for advice on how to treat your high blood pressure?
That's a great point, a great question, and we've done many segments on why and the importance of having a financial advisor and what they bring to the table. Chaz, this is your lane. What do you think of that?
Yeah, this was an interesting read for me, and I always learn something coming on the show and preparing for our segments. Less than 27% of the American population actually gets advice from qualified financial professionals. Kind of reminding me of a quote one of my favorite comedians, George Carlin, used to say. He said, some people have no idea what they're talking about, and a lot of them are really good at it. And some people get advice online. They do their own research. I'll use the quotations, financial gurus, people in the media. But the real issue is that these decisions that you're making with retirement are going to affect your life. And they're going to affect your everyday life in many ways, both personally and financially. And retirement should really be enjoyable. And it's important, if you're going to plan on enjoying it, that you make the right financial decisions. And so that's what a financial advisor can do, is help you avoid some mistakes and some pitfalls that are common. The first mistake is taking Social Security too early. I think that's the number one mistake that we see people either do or contemplating. We've actually had people that started collecting Social Security and we've advised them to pay it back. We talked about that in a previous segment in detail. So if you want to learn more about what the implications are and how you can pay Social Security back if you did in fact take it early. By taking Social Security early, let's say at 62 when you're first eligible, you really lock yourself into a much lower benefit for the rest of your life. Compared to waiting till age 65 or 67, which is what we refer to as your full retirement age, your monthly payments could be anywhere, between 20 to 30% higher for the rest of your life.
Right.
And then you wait even longer till age 70, then you get an additional 32% increase on your monthly Social Security benefit.
And on the other side of that coin, correct me if I'm wrong, just because you can take Social Security if you are still working, you may want to consider not doing so. If people out there, they fear that, Social Security is going to run out of money in 2035, I better get what I can while I can. But
sure.
Then you run into the possibility of having to pay taxes on it, having to give that money back, and that is something you surely want to avoid. So again, just because you can doesn't mean that you should. There's hundreds upon hundreds of different ways to claim Social Security, and that is why having somebody, a professional, help you with that to figure out what is going to be best for you is really better advised than, again, your Aunt Edna or someone at church, one of your friends, one of your neighbors, things like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm going to move on to one of the other mistakes that we see people make a lot in the finance world is not investing aggressively enough. My first year out of college was the tech wreck, or the dot-com bubble burst, where we had all these dot-com companies with just .com at the end of their name, and they were making money somehow, but there were no revenues. Then fast forward 7 years later, 08 and 09, the Great Recession, and then 2020, the pandemic. There's obviously going to be the tendency for a retiree to want to be conservative. They may have even been tempted to just cash their investments out as soon as they get to retirement. But that is not a wise decision to make. But retirement is not the end of the journey. It's really the beginning. They say every day is a Saturday in retirement, right? So when you spend the most money is a Saturday. You do need to invest a portion of your nest egg for growth. Now, the percentage that should be in growth really depends on a lot of different factors, which the advisors here at America's Retirement Headquarters can help you figure out, and so that you're not too conservative, which ultimately would result in running out of money, which is losing the game. That's our number one goal, is not to lose the game. And then lastly, the number one mistake I think I see is people not meeting with a financial planner. We've talked about it in previous segments. People just aren't prepared for retirement in general. I mean, the average American has only about $10,000 saved for retirement. It's like a nice weekend for you, Scott. What are you talking about?
Yeah, right.
But you need to get with your advisor as soon as possible to, just give you a shot, and to make sure that you're not letting your pride or just spending a little bit of money on an advisor deter you from meeting your financial goals. And so the bottom line is, if you don't know exactly what your retirement is going to look like, you need to get with a financial advisor and talk through a couple of different scenarios. Should I relocate? Should we refinance the house? When should we take Social Security? How much taxable, tax-free, and tax deferred money should we have? Kind of look at those different scenarios, figure out which one makes the most sense for your finances with your advisor, no matter what path you decide to take.
Chaz, thanks. That's a lot of great information.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Well, was it a good interview? Did you enjoy it? Hopefully you got something out of it. Maybe I answered a question or two. Please leave me a comment, leave me a question, and I'll address it in next week's Trends at 10. Hey, I'm going to do my very best to boil down very complex and detailed financial strategies to try to make a positive impact on your financial future. That's it. That's why I do what I do, and that's why I continue to make these videos, and why I'm a financial advisor in the first place. So thank you so much for your time, for tuning in today. Have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Talk to you later. See you back here next Tuesday, 10